We are back with episode 2 of Life Unscripted with DeKyn. This is actually going to be a special episode dedicated to Cummings Graduate Institute. I'm doing this for school, but I still want to promote the podcast while I do this, and I'm very excited to do this actually. First and foremost, remember, guys, we do have the unscripted coffee here. This is the maple citrus almond flavor. You can get it from my website at www.printify/unscripted.com. And we do have the multivitamins here as well. I do have other things like probiotics, and I have ashwagandha, and I have sea moss. So you can go get that at the website. And trust me, it's worth it. It's affordable, and it has more healthy ingredients than what you can find in the store. Um, but today, we're going to have an unfiltered conversation about leadership, mental health, and compassionate care. Today, we're going to talk about something that's really overlooked. And we are going to kind of break that down into different points. In behavioral health, we often emphasize patient-centered care, but how do leaders treat their staff, and how does it shape their workplace? A compassionate leader influences organizational culture, staff well-being, and even broader, social aspects of things. And so let's start with the power of a compassionate leader. What is a leader? Leadership in behavioral health isn't just about policies, procedures, or patient care. It's about creating an environment where employees feel valued, supported, and empowered. When leaders prioritize compassion in their approach, the ripple effect it's amazing. It takes a lot to be a leader. I don't think people realize it's more than just a title. I have to put that out there. A lot of people see it as a title, and it's more than just a title. You have to give your heart and soul into it. And the first thing is reducing burnout and increasing retention. It's a lot of mental health, and it's already a label on mental health jobs. It's a label on working at a mental health facility or a psychiatric facility. And burnout does happen, and it has a big turnover. Behavioral health professionals experience high level of stress and emotional exhaustion a lot. Leaders who show genuine concern for their staff well-being through check-ins, mental health resources, and workload balance help reduce turnover and increase job satisfaction. Um, the check-in part for me, when I wrote this, and even though this is called Life Unscripted, when I wrote this, the check-in is the most important aspect. I don't think you have a lot of check-ins. I think it's like, do this, do this, do this, go home, do your job, and go home. It's not a lot of personal check-ins like, hey, are you okay? How was it handling this patient? How did this patient make you feel? Self-care is the best care. You have to take care of yourself before, we can take care of our patients. Um, Stronger team cohesion and performance. It has to be a team effort. When you work in mental health, and we actually did a paper. We did a paper on this a couple of weeks ago. It needs to be a team effort in mental health at a psychiatric facility or anywhere. You have nurses, you have techs, you have therapists, you have social workers, and everyone has their certain group, but it needs to be a big team meeting. I would say during different shifts so everybody can know what's going on. And again, just to piggyback off that check-in spot, everybody do need to check in. So, compassionate leadership fosters a sense of trust and psychological safety. When employees know their leaders and have their backs, they collaborate better, communicate openly, and feel motivated to go that extra mile. Improving patient outcomes. That's the most important part. When staff feel supported, they're more engaged in their work, leading to better patient care. A happy, well-supported workforce provides higher quality interventions, increased patience, and more effective problem solving when dealing with challenging cases. You have to always support your staff no matter what. If you support your staff and you have good leadership qualities, like we're talking about, and you're a good leader, your staff will always follow you. You have to have a good leadership a good leadership style. And I think we have a lot of people now that's just being in leadership roles and using the title and say, hey, I'm a leader, I'm a director. But if you're not directing correctly, you're just using it as a title to make yourself sound good. And, at the end of the day, it's about that patient care. It's about taking care of that patient at the end of the day. Um, a more of the broader impact of it. Compassionate leadership just doesn't benefit the internal team. It creates a domino effect that reaches patients, families, and even a broader society. If we are being taken care of as workers and we're taking care of the patients, when these patients go home, their family can see the change. It is a domino effect, and it does start with us because we have to take care of these patients. A culture of care beyond the workplace. When behavioral health professionals experience compassion at work, they carry that mindset into their patient interactions, personal relationships, and even community involvement. Building trust in mental health services. Many communities, especially underserved populations, struggle with destroyed and mental health systems. When organizations prioritize compassion at every level, not just in therapy rooms, but in leadership and policymaking, it fosters a more welcoming, inclusive environment that encourages people to seek care. Um, I can tell you firsthand, underserved populations do not understand mental health. Um, Especially, I would say, in an African American household, from an African American background as myself, mental health is not understood. It's not something you're taught to go out and seek services or help for. We have to change that. We have to change that stigma. We have to have influence on policy and systematic changes. Compassionate leadership isn't just about individuals, it's about shaping entire systems. Leaders who champion mental health initiatives, fair wages, and workplace well-being policies contribute to long-term industry-wide improvements in behavioral health and fair wages. I have always been taught when I was an undergrad that being in the realm of social work, don't do it for the money because you don't get paid a lot. Social workers don't make six figures, and you have to really love what you do. However, I think people have forgotten about mental health workers on the back end because it's a stress load that they do have to take home. And even though they may love doing it, it is about having a fair wage because it's a lot that a mental health worker goes through. Even the techs, even the techs. And shout out to the techs because they make it happen too. They make it happen as well. Um, just to, wrap this short episode up, I know this is not the typical episode you guys are used to seeing me shoot, but this needs to be talked about. Just my closing thoughts personally. Compassionate leadership isn't just an assault, it's not a soft skill or an afterthought. It's a trans it's a transition approach that impacts staff, patients, and entire communities. If we want a healthier, more effective behavioral health system, it starts at the top with leaders who lead with understanding, empathy, and action. Again, I will say that it starts at the top. It has to trickle its way down. If you are going to be a director, a leader, or any form of just leadership, you have to show it first. And I promise staff and anyone else will follow. Um, that's just my input on it. Again, I just want to thank you all for tuning in with another episode with Life Unscripted with DeKyn. Please stay inspired. Please stay compassionate and just keep making a difference. And if you know someone that's in the mental health field, give them all the support you can. Give them their flowers while they're still here. And if you know anyone who needs help in a underserved community or needs help in general, help them get that help. Mental health matters. Thank you.